Wayno here from the Wayno Project. I'm up midday on this beautiful day here in the DMV area, and I got my walk in this morning. Haven't had coffee yet, but just recovering from last night, so I wanted to get a walk in early this morning. But last night I was sitting at a bar with a good friend of mine, a couple of buddies. We had a couple of drinks. Phenomenal smoked wings this place had. I mean, the wings were great. They had a great selection of beers and drinks. Lots of IPAs. I'm a big IPA drinker, especially when you go to new areas, new cities. I always like to taste the beer from the locals. But overall, it was a great sports environment. Lots of good, a lot of good people in there last night. We started talking about life. You know, that kind of conversation that happens when things start slowing down for the night. You know, the games are late. The drinks are kicking in. And now the conversation started getting very honest. Right? We all been there. I think the NBA game was on. The NBA game was on. I did have a parlay. I did have a parlay pending on one of those games. But the point is, the games, nobody was paying attention to the game because the conversation was deep. Very deep. My good friend, he had a government job for over 20 years. And many people forget the Doge coming into the federal government and just slicing, dicing, and cutting jobs. And so his job was cut from the Doge operations. So he was let go. To be fair, he left with a good financial package. Very good financial package. So he wasn't footed out the door with nothing, but it was a good financial package for 20 years of government service. But the way it happened, I mean, it really stayed on him. And you can hear the frustration in his voice. 20 years of service, and he felt like they pushed him out, just like that, out the door. And don't forget, if especially for folks that are here locally, that many of those federal employees were getting bombarded with emails, threats, emails from the president asking for war reports or weekly activity reports on Fridays to report what you're doing. I mean, it was definitely a lot of harassment. Not just my opinion, just when you think about that period of time. I mean, things move so fast. That was just last year, a year ago. Then there was a volunteer separation package that they offered to government folks that many people were skeptical about. So there were a lot of moving parts during that period of time. But last night, he was explaining how things have been going. And honestly, it hasn't been good. He's applied for other government jobs and roles. He's gone to private companies, temp agencies, even staffing agencies, stock clerk jobs. But nothing has really worked out. And again, just for background or context, this is the DMV area, District, DC, Maryland, Virginia, DMV area. This area lost 70,000 government jobs, which means 70,000 people are competing for the same job opportunities that are out there. Which, of course, in economics drives down salary, drives down everything else. The housing market has slowed, but the housing value hasn't dropped. Right? So anyway, he hasn't had any success with bringing in income. And the financial pressure got so heavy that he had to sell his home. And now he's living in an apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, with his wife and 3 kids. And you could tell that part weighs on him. That's the part. At one point last night, he paused and looked at his drink and said quietly, "Man, I never thought my life would look like this." I felt that from him. You could feel it. We all got quiet when we heard that, And as he kept talking, I started noticing the same sounds and patterns from this past year with him. And some of the things that he was saying seems consistent for the past year when I've talked to him. Nobody wants to hire an experienced person like me with over 20 years. Companies don't care about loyalty anymore. The system is messed up. Everything is working against me. And this is the trend I've heard from him over the past year. And this is not a judgment on him. I'm simply using this pattern as a teaching moment and an opportunity to share a lesson today, a powerful lesson today. Not just about his financial situation, but the story he was telling himself about life. Have you ever noticed when someone believes life is working against them, life somehow keeps proving them right? Almost like life is looping. And if we are honest, most of us have had seasons in our lives where we start telling ourselves the same story. Like Groundhog Day, the movie. Bill Murray. Life on repeat. How many times have this happened to you? How many times have you got stuck in rush hour traffic, arrived to a meeting or work late, and suddenly the whole day feels off? One thing goes wrong, then another. Before long, it seems like everything that could go wrong that day has gone wrong. And the same is true for a good day. When things start off well, everything can seem to flow in the right direction. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself why life seems to unfold so differently for different people? Why? Why does everything seem to come together so easily for some people, while other people, it feels like nothing moves without a struggle, without some type of delay or resistance happening? Why do some people seem to attract opportunities? To be able to attract, always have a motion, opportunities, momentum, almost without any effort, while others feel like they never could get a break. There's never a real break in their life. Almost like a generation curse. Why is it that some entrepreneurs can launch multiple businesses, get a good staff, hit their goals, and keep building with confidence, while other entrepreneurs work just as hard, stay busy, and still feel like they are constantly fighting to survive each month? You can take this deeper. When you look at the lives of well-known people, listen to Tupac this morning. Me Against the World album, classic. But why were Biggie Smalls, Notorious, and Pac murdered in the 1990s? Why did someone gifted and influential as and celebrated as Michael Jackson still appear to struggle so deeply with himself? I mean, these are the whys. We all have these moments where you just kind of question everything, right? Why was Tom Brady able to win seven Super Bowls, championships, and sustain excellence over such a long period of time? Why? Reminds me of the Jadakiss song back in the days, back in the 90s. Jadakiss had a song called Why that questioned everything. Jadakiss and Anthony Hamilton were on that song. Go listen to it today. Jada was giving good game on that song. Questioned a lot. Why did Aaliyah have to take that flight? Why is her brother up north better than Jordan? Why did Denzel have to be a crook before he took it? A lot of questions on that song. And we know how talented Jada is anyway, Kiss is. But great song, questioning everything. Why? So, in this lesson, I want to share a principle that is critical to answering the whys that we're talking about today. Critical. For any entrepreneur, executives, you're in an executive role, if you're a high performer trying to create or manifest your desired reality, or anybody who's listening to this with pursuing a meaningful goal, today's lesson is going to be a game changer, a powerful one for you. Today's lesson is the mirror principle. The mirror principle. When you think about a mirror, the one in your bathroom, the one in your car, the mirror principle is a framework for understanding why events in reality happen the way they do. Simple as that. Again, the mirror principle is a framework for understanding why events in reality happen the way they do. For example, imagine you dream to build a business that generates $1 million a month. But deep down, you still see yourself as bad with money, not feeling like you're smart enough, have an attitude of things never work out for me, always say I can't catch a break. If those beliefs exist inside of you, the mirror of reality will keep showing you evidence and proof that supports your story that you're telling yourself. Reality will look for evidence and proof everywhere. Every slow month that you have in your business, anytime you have a rejection, every failed launch, reality will keep looping the same story. What are they building over there? But yeah, reality will keep looping the same story over and over and over again. I mean, when Biggie said, ready to die, on the album, Ready to Die, the mirror reflected back and said, okay, here's the outcome. When Pac opened up you remember the I Ain't Mad at You video, in the opening scenes of that video, there is like a drive-by or shooting that happens in the opening of that video when Pops gets shot up. In the video, the mirror reflected that too and said, okay, here's that outcome. From a universal perspective, what you give the universe is what it gives you. It will only act as you act. You say you live the thug life, the universe said, okay, here's the thug life. You say you're a gangster, the universe said, okay, here's the gangster life. You say you're a scholar, the universe says, okay, here's the scholar life. You and the universe are one. You and nature are one. You and God are one. You and the universe are one. The way that you act towards other people is the way the universe is going to act towards you. And as a side note, take an exit real quick. This is why you don't kill bugs or insects unless you're being attacked by a bug such as a mosquito, which is trying to take your blood, right? Trying to take your blood. You can swat bugs away or kill them because you're being attacked. But how many times have you watched people kill a bug without even thinking? There is no consciousness around it, no awareness. Or just kill anything just because they feel like it. Well, how do you think the universe will reflect that back on you? Some people, and again, this is a mature conversation for a mature mind. Some people don't understand how they can get into random smashes, smash up car accidents, freak accidents, like helicopter crashes. Of course, there are many reasons why these things happen. But from a spiritual minded person, or a person with a spiritual sense, it's the universe reflecting back. If you like smashing insects, especially with emotion, the universe thinks that's what you are. That's what you're about. That's your character. And will put you in situations where you may get smashed like an insect. This is how cruel the universe can be. And it's the reason why it's important to respect all of life, plants, insects, animals. Again, this knowledge is for a mature mind. A mature mind. If you know, you know. The deeper point is the universe is acting as you, reflecting as you. Some people always seem to end up with the same type of person and then wonder why they keep getting the same outcome. Some people can always seem like every relationship ends the same way. The same outcome is going to happen. Oh, they love this person so much. This is the person of my life. And the same outcome. 3 relationships in a row ended the exact same way. Just a lesson. Just giving a lesson. Don't take it personal. So, reality works like a mirror, same. But it's not a normal mirror, right? It's not a normal mirror. This mirror reflects your relationship to life. It reflects your attitude toward reality. I'm gonna park in the distance. It's just a way so I can be away from people, and I'll pull up in a minute. So anyway, life, it reflects your attitude towards reality. And when I say attitude, I mean your dominant thoughts and emotions. That's what I mean. The way you think about your life. Okay, this is good. The way you feel about your business and investments. The way that you interpret what's happening around you. Well, that attitude becomes the image. And the mirror reflects the image back to you. As within, so without. You reap what you sow. You don't attract what you want. You reflect what you already been. Think about it this way. You have an image and you have a reflection. The reflection cannot be changed directly. Everything you're seeing in your life right now is simply the result of the image that has been placed in front of the mirror. Please write this down. Your life is the reflection. Your mind is the image. So if you want a different reflection, you must change the image in front of the mirror. Trying to change your life without changing your mind, your mental, is like looking into the mirror, seeing a stain on your shirt, and then trying to wipe the mirror clean. Because the stain is not on the mirror. The stain is on the shirt. If I shaved this morning and I look in the mirror and I notice that one side of my beard is a little bit off from the other side, I don't take my clippers and go and scrape the mirror, right? I go to take the clippers, I go and say, all right, let me go ahead and even this thing out. Again, the issue is not the mirror. Speaking of the mirror, I mean, you could see how cold Jackson, Michael Jackson was. I mean, he created a song called "Man in the Mirror," a powerful song. God probably wrote that song. Okay. I say that. Check that. God wrote that song. I mean, Michael was cold. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, right? That self-reflection, that personal responsibility. And you take that to everything. People say, "Hey, how do we change our community? How do we change this situation?" Well, start with you first. Once you're straight, then your house. Once your house is straight, then your community. Once your community is straight, then you go bigger. But everything starts with you first, as the boy Mike said. Don't forget about the great Lauryn Hill. I mean, she had a bar in what's the name of that song? I can't remember the name of the song. I gone blank. That thing, I think it's the name. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, Lauryn Hill was cold back in '94, '95. The Fugees played the Fugees every day. But Lauryn Hill said, "How you gonna win when you ain't right within? How you gonna win when you ain't right within?" They had they were showing some of the I guess the old episodes of Power earlier this week, and James St. Patrick Ghost. Just watching Power now after what 3, 4, 5 years that Ghost has been gone from the franchise, and just looking at the outfits and just the um, the demeanor and everything. Um, but there I mean, of course, we can dissect Power all the way through, but there is some. I mean, there are some big takeaways off of Power, of course, right? But I'm a focus the one, just kind of what we this lesson today. If you think about Power, I mean, Ghost had it all. I mean, he was smart, he was witty, intelligent, knew how to work the room, knew how to move, and the problem is he fell because of the mirror. Because of the mirror, he wanted out of that lifestyle. You remember he was doing a lot of investments, investing in nightclub. He wanted out of that lifestyle, but the mirror effect was knocking him on his head. Yes, we know what he wanted, but who he was a drug dealer, was a hustler, was a assassin. Can it kill with no emotions? The people he hung around, Tasha, wanted that life. Tommy, active, wild child, maniac. And every time he got success, the mirror reflected back the streets. And you can now look at it that with the spinoff with Tyreek, Ghost told Tyreek that you're gonna be me one day, boy. Watch who you talking to. You're gonna be me one day. And guess what's happened? Tyreek is his dad. Maybe a sharper version, but at the end of the day, he became his dad as well. The mirror. The mirror is going to reflect back who you are, who you really are. You could talk a big game, you could spit it, you could talk that talk, but reality is really going to reflect who you are back to you. And that's the problem with entrepreneurship. Folks that are entrepreneurs or investors or high performers, if you are drawing your emotional state from your environment, again, if you hear what I said, if you are drawing your emotional state from the environment that you are in, meaning if the business slows down, if your website traffic drops, if people are not clicking on your ads, if that type of stuff is stressing you out, and you're assuming that you're failing based on your environment, it's a trap. Don't fall for it. In other words, you are living at the effect of reality instead of being the cause of reality. Again, write that down. In other words, you are living at the effect of reality instead of the cause of reality. The biggest bottleneck in many businesses and potential clients I talk to on a daily to talk about, hey, potentially being a client. The biggest thing, the bottleneck, isn't the market, the team that you put together, the strategy. It's 99% of the time, it's the entrepreneur attitude towards the self. And because the attitude is invisible, it quietly shapes the image of the business. It impacts everything in the business, but it's invisible. It's a hidden block. So to change the mirror of reality, if you're asking, we've been spending a lot of time talking about this mirror, the mirror, and to change the mirror of reality that you're experiencing, we have to talk about the mind. You have to understand how the mind works. Got to start with the mental side. All is mind, all is mental. Hermetic principles. Nothing was created without it starting from the mental. Nothing. This car, this steering wheel. First, it was started mentally, and then it was created in the 3D. But a simple way to I think the best way for me to explain the mind and how the mind works is, let's call it three levels. The mind has three levels, right? So the first level is 3D, and that's the conscious mind. That's the world. This is the world that we are living in right now, right? This is the reality. The five senses is what we can see, what we can hear, the things that we can touch, the things that we're experiencing in our daily life. That's the first level, right, of the mind. That's the 3D, the conscious mind. Your job, your bank account, your relationships. This is the visible reality you are living in right now. But this level is not where reality is created. Okay, this is a cheat code right here to this game of life. If you think that in order for you to change your outcomes and manifest whatever your desires are, that you got to address this 3D piece, this reality piece, the consciousness right here, no. This level is not where reality is created. It's where reality is experienced. Okay. Think about a movie theater. The projector creates the movie. The screen only displays it, right? The screen is where you experience the movie, but the movie was created in the projector. Same thing with reality. Reality is the projector. You are projecting from a conscious mind, the 3D. Okay, so that's level one to the mind, just understanding how the mind works. Level two, the second level to the mind, is the 4D, the subconscious mind. This is where your core beliefs live. Most of these beliefs now were formed long before you were aware of them, right? Through programming. That's not the lesson today. They came from things you experienced growing up. What your parents said about money impacted it. Your teachers, what you watch other people struggle with. Over time, these experiences form beliefs about who you are and what is possible for you, if that makes sense. The problem is these beliefs became hidden program. It's almost like a hidden program that is running your life today. And whether you realize it or not, that program influences the decisions you make, the risks you decide to take, the opportunities you pursue. It runs everything. This subconscious. The third level is the 5D. The 5D is it's the field of possibilities. You might call it the quantum field, call it God, call it intelligence, source, the infinite flow, Christ consciousness, Osiris, Haru, call it whatever, simple or simple pure potentials. In this field, many possible versions of your life already exist in the quantum field. So the wealthy you, the struggling version of you, the confident version of you, the version of you running a thriving, successful business exists right now. All of these opportunities, these possibilities exist before they ever appear in physical reality. Again, all of possibilities of you exist right now before they ever appear in the physical realm. Again, all possibilities, all possibilities, all possibilities of you exist right now before they ever appear in this physical realm. Your subconscious, okay, the level two we talked about, your subconscious beliefs act like a magnet. Your subconscious beliefs determine which of those possibilities get pulled from the field of potentials to reality. And let me say it cleaner than that. Then let me put it this way: your subconscious belief acts like a magnet. Your subconscious beliefs shape what you notice, um, what you pursue, what you allow into your life, and it pulls certain possibilities from all those options available to you, and eventually shows up in your 3D life. So then, if you're listening to this today, you have to be asking yourself, well, okay, I heard you. Makes sense to me. What is dominating your subconscious? What do you consume each day? What do you watch? What do you say consistently? When you go to bed, what is the last thing that you hear? When you wake up, what's the first thing you hear? You get my point. The subconscious is it's a magnet and it's recording everything that is happening, even when you sleep, by the way. That's why you don't keep the TV on. But it's recording everything, especially when emotions are involved, which impacts the quantum field. And again, I just want to make this clear and try to be clear as precise as possible here. All possibilities already exist at the same time in what many call is the quantum field. But in that field, they don't exist as physical objects yet. Yet. They exist as energy and frequency. Energy and frequency. Think about water. Um, water can, like water can exist. Water can exist in different forms, right? When the temperature is normal, it appears as liquid, right? But when you add enough heat, enough energy to it, it turns to a vapor. The vapor is still water, though. The molecules are still there, but now it's in a different state. You can't see it in the same way you see liquid water, but it still exists. what about thinking about the radio? At any moment, right? There's thousands of opportunities right now. At any moment, thousands of radio signals are moving through the air. Music stations, talk radio, news, sports, all of them already present in the environment right now. But you only hear one station at a time, right? Why? Because the radio tunes to a specific frequency. The station didn't appear out of nowhere. You simply tune into it. And possibilities work the same way. So before something appears in your physical life, your job, your income, your business success, it existed first as potential. So the question becomes, how does possibilities turn into reality? How is this possible? Real quick, let me see if I can explain this clear for you. First, in physics, energy waves become visible when they condense into particles. Once something becomes dense enough, it can be seen and experienced in the physical world. Right? So think about right now the clouds up top, right? Beautiful day, got some clouds out there. But think about the clouds. At first, a cloud, before it's a cloud, it's a vapor, right? It's invisible. Then it condenses into droplets, becomes a cloud or rain, right? So, and maybe another way to think about it is the thoughts you have, the ideas you have, your intentions. These are all waves, right? They're invisible. Can't see it. Invisible. The action, the results, is the particle. Is the visible. Right? Your life works in similar ways. Your subconscious beliefs acts like a magnet. They pull certain possibilities out of the field of potentials and allow them to become physical experiences in your life. This happens through your decisions you make, the opportunities that you're aware of, can recognize and take action on. But here's the key point. The key point that most that's that you have to get. All the stuff I'm talking about right now is really, this process is the subconscious, which means a person can consciously say, like you could consciously be aware, say one thing, while deeper beliefs are creating something different. This is how powerful the subconscious is. You can consciously be aware. I'm aware of thought. I'm aware of what I'm saying. I'm telling everybody I'm the greatest tennis player of all times. But deeper beliefs are creating something different. Your subconscious is like, here's proof. Here's evidence. No, you're not. Someone might say, I want to build a $1 million business. But if their subconscious belief says things like, nah, not me. What if I fail? I'm really not that business person. Then those subconscious beliefs will quietly shh, quietly influence your behavior. You'll quietly hesitate to raise your prices in your business. You'll quietly avoid those big opportunities. When time comes, you'll play small when it's time to take that risk in your business. So even though you say you want to be successful, the subconscious beliefs will pull you in a different possibility in this reality. Get this lesson. So the real talk, keeping it 100 in the building, the real talk is it's important to pick the image you want to run the subconscious. That's the difference. The difference is the image running your subconscious. So pick the right image you want to run your subconscious. To bring a different possibility into your reality. This is a good game right here. You have to choose clearly the right image. You have to know exactly what you want. It's almost, to keep it simple, it's almost like when you feel thirsty, the first idea of water comes to your mind, right? Comes to your mind. Then you take action to go get it, right? Go to your refrigerator, grab water. Manifestation, to manifest anything, works in a similar way. Starts with a cause, starts in the mind first. And then that inner thought or image is carried into the physical reality through your actions and expressions. So if you want to grow your income to 100K per month, that reality has to exist in your mind before it can exist in your bank account. First, the idea forms, then the belief strengthens. And from that belief, you start taking actions that bring it into the physical world. This is a universal principle. And this is one of the main reasons why my clients are successful. Too many people make the mistake of focusing only on the reflection, the mirror, only on what's happening in reality. They're they're not liking what they're seeing, but they're trying to change the mirror. If I if I were mentoring Ghost from Power, Ghost St. Patrick, I would not start with his external problems. Tasha, the nightclub, Tyreek, politics, um, all the stuff that he was involved with. I would start with his mind, his mental. I would focus on the subconscious block that kept pulling him back into the same cycle. Every time Ghost tries to leave the game, he gets pulled back in. On the surface, it looks like it's just bad luck, or somebody just got in the way. But at a deeper level, his subconscious mind was still attached to that identity, that environment, being a killer, that way of life. His inner world kept attracting the very loop he was trying to escape. And the people around him also reflected the mirror back to him. Just think about it. I mean, Tommy was reckless and chaotic. Tasha was deeply attached to that, maintaining that lifestyle. So even when Ghost wanted something different, he was surrounded by the people and patterns that kept feeding him the version of him he was trying to outgrow. And that's how life works for many people. You can say you want peace, growth, freedom, a new future, but if your subconscious mind is still loyal to the old identity, the old environment, the old emotional pattern, you will keep recreating the same struggles in different ways. And this is a good point. Since we're talking about the people that Ghost seemed like he always was around, right? That reflected that environment back. This is a good point. The people that you see are also part of your reflection. Every person you meet, every interaction you have can reveal something to you about your own inner world. Don't brush these interactions off. Be aware. This is why the teachings like what's the treat? What is it? Treat. What, the teachings like treat others as you would treat yourself. This is why those teachings like that carry so much power, because at a deeper level, it's pointing to a truth. The deeper truth is we all are connected. We are all one. And this don't mean that every person is literally the same personality or the same behavior or maturity. People express different levels of awareness, energy, emotional regulation. Some people move through life from love, wisdom. Others move from pain and fear. So be specific about the life you want to create and how you feel while living it. Don't just say, I want to grow 20K income per month. That's not specific enough. You have to be more specific, clear, precise on what your goal is. And really the goal isn't really the numbers, money, the material things itself. You have to be understand and be clear exactly what you want. At the end of the day, what we all want is the feeling that we believe money will give us. The feeling of freedom, the knowing that I'm secure, I'm good, the feeling of abundance, gratitude. You don't want the house. You really don't want that 10,000 square foot house. You want the feeling of comfort, the status of the 10,000 square foot house, the peace of the 10,000 square foot house. You don't want the money. You want the freedom, the security that it will give you. You don't want the relationship. You want love, the connection. You want to you want to feel being valued. The thing itself isn't the real goal. The feeling you think it will give you is the real goal. That's why the real shift begins with your beliefs about money and about success. Again, the real shift begins with your belief about money and success. How many times have you seen people achieve the goal of money but still remain unhappy? Right? Facts. So the real issue isn't just about getting to the bag. It's about how you think and feel about the money and success on the inside. If you think about it in general, then you're not chasing money. You're chasing a feeling, and your beliefs determine whether you actually allow if you actually allow yourself to experience that feeling. Let me give you a simple exercise you can use starting today. I call it the mirror check exercise. The mirror check exercise. So step one in the mirror check exercise: choose the thought and feeling of the reality you want to create. So that's step one. Okay, if you want to create a new reality, you have to begin by generating it internally. The feelings of the reality. Create an environment or atmosphere that helps you do that. You can play music that moves you. You can visualize daily. Do whatever helps you feel connected to life, to the life that you want to live. For my clients, I prefer them to be still. Be still and know. Just be quiet. Still. Relax. Bring your body to a natural state. But do whatever that brings you to a relaxed, natural state. The goal is not just to think about your ideal reality. The goal is to feel yourself in it now. Feel as though it has already happened. Like it happened already. Feel as though the version of you who has the life that already exists. That is what it means when it said live from the in. For example, if you want to become the kind of business owner who can confidently close high value deals, start practicing as if you're already that person. Set aside time to rehearse your sales conversation. Set time to practice client pitches. Your leadership message out loud. Line yourself up, stand in the mirror, and record yourself. Pay attention to how you speak, how you carry yourself, your tone, your facial expressions, your body language. Practice it. Practice communicating with clarity and certainty and a calm authority with you. This helps you with building self-awareness, and it strengthens the habits of the version of you you're trying to become. It may sound simple, but most lasting changes, usually are simple things. The challenge is the consistency. Step two, look for confirmations without becoming attached to the current reality. Remember, your current external conditions are only a snapshot. They are not the final story. The deeper truth is your internal world, what you're feeling today, how you are managing your thoughts, what you're repeatedly identifying with, what emotional states you're living from. That's the deeper truth in your internal world. That's the real source. So, yeah, look for confirmation, notice the signs, pay attention to shifts. Okay, don't blow it off. But don't become emotionally trapped by what has not changed in reality. Don't worship the current image. Stay loyal to the inner state that will produce the new image. And that's really how you stop being controlled by external reality and begin consciously creating the new reality that you want. Uh, Before I go, think about the placebo. I just saw something the other day about some new weight loss drug. But think about the placebo effect. Is one of the clearest reminders that the mind is never neutral. When you got medical studies that happen, some people receive real treatment while the other receive the fake one, placebo effect. And the people who receive the fake treatment experiences real improvement. That happened because the mind believed change was happening. It was a conviction that was so strong the body responded as if it was real. That's the conviction you should carry with your goals. You know you're going to manifest it. You know it's going to happen. It's a conviction. Just like when you come into a room and flip the lights on, you don't hope it turns on. You just know. You go in, turn it on, and you don't even think about it. You should treat your goals the same way. I know I'm going to reach $1 million in income per month. I know. Right? Don't even think about it anymore because I know it's going to happen. Before we go, I got one last final thought for you. I created a free guide called the Divine Identity Blueprint. It is a framework designed to help you shift how you operate under pressure so that you can make clean, wise decisions and actions and executions, right? So that it's not coming from just stressful environment or fear environment or being reactive. This blueprint is not therapy. It's not no spiritual, religious type of advice. It's not medical. It's not a financial kit or anything like that. It's not relationship advice. It's identity and performance training. That's exactly what it is. And for anybody that's interested, want to go deeper I also work privately with a small number of entrepreneurs and high performers, business owners, content creators, real estate agents, um, anybody who's a high performer. I keep my list down to 7 individuals. Okay, so I could give all the attention, one-on-one attention. My private mentorship is called Pantheria X. Okay, that's the program. It's a 6-month mentorship for high performing folks, folk that have already created success, but can feel an internal ceiling block, some type of block, invisible block that we talked about earlier as an example. So it's not one of those mentorships that's for beginners. It's for people who are already that are established. And it's not because I'm excluding anybody, but this work only matters. It matters the most when we're under pressure, when you're under pressure, real pressure. Sort of like when athletes have coaches and mentors, CEOs have coaches, mentors, actors, all your top performers in every field they're training the version of themselves that they want to show up when the pressure is on. This is a key moment in history that we're in 2026. We are watching a global shift at this moment in time. Do not let your emotions control you. Not right now. Maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, but now is not the time to play soft or take the year off. Do not let the external reality shape your inner world. So today I wanted to provide a lesson, a framework for understanding why events in realities happen the way they do. The mirror principle helps you understand this in your reality, what's happening in your reality. Okay? There is a deeper layer to the mirror principle that most people miss. We could talk about uh, studying the successful people. You know, when you study successful people, don't just watch the documentaries or read books or listen to the stories of high performers. The real lesson is not admiring their success from a distance. That's not the lesson. The deeper lesson is you are to become them. Not study them as if they are over there and you are over here, separate from what they became. The true lesson is to study greatness until it becomes a mirror. You were never meant to just simply observe greatness and say, "Oh yeah, he got it." You're meant to embody it. This is how many of our ancestors understood wisdom. They didn't only sit around talking about how powerful the elderly were, how wise grandma was, how strong granddad was, how strong our lineage has been. They carried those qualities forward. They became the living expression of what they honored. The same truth applies to faith. It applies to the version of yourself you're trying to become. So if you want to create a new reality, if you want to track the life, the peace, the love, the opportunities, then the mirror principle asks something deeper of you. It asks you to think, to feel, to move as the version of yourself who already lives in alignment with that reality. That is the real transformation. Because once you truly understand this lesson, I mean, truly get this lesson, I will probably watch this a couple times. You watch this a couple times, you're going to start seeing more. Your mind will start catching more stuff that I talked about today. Because to truly understand this lesson, it changes the way you see God, source, the universe in your life. John 10:34. Is it not written in your law, I have said you are gods? Egyptian proverb, men are mortal gods, gods are immortal men. Most people are taught to believe in God, but belief by itself does not transform a life. Belief can keep a person in the realm of hoping that things will get better, hope that money will come through. I hope we will have freedom. I hope I will find love. Hope by itself can still leave a person waiting. You can believe something good will happen someday and still never become the person capable of receiving it. Did you hear what I just said? You can believe something good will happen someday and still never become the person capable of receiving it. You don't just need belief in a better life. You need to become someone who can live it. That's the point. You can believe in God and still live disconnected from your own power, your own responsibility, your own role in shaping your life, your reality. And I say that because believing in God is not the same as perceiving God. Belief is a distant thing. It's not experiencing. Anyone can believe God from afar away, can speak about God as something outside of them, something that's separate over there, up there, something to call on in moments of pain, going through it, desperation. But perceiving God is different from believing in God. Perceiving God means that get this knowledge. This is ancient knowledge right here that's been hidden. But perceiving God means recognizing that you are not disconnected from the divine. You are an expression of the divine, a reflection of the divine. And I'm not saying this in an arrogant, or we're not talking about in an arrogant or ego-driven way, but in a sacred and respectful, humble way. It means understanding that the same intelligence that animates life is also moving through you. It means you begin to feel God, noticing God in everything, everyday life, recognizing the divine intelligence in your breath, in your awareness, your choices. And when you look in the mirror, you no longer just see a person trying to survive, trying to make it, or wanting. You begin to see something holy, and that changes everything. You now stop moving through life like a victim. You stop now telling yourself the economy is bad, the wars, the Trumps, the all the stuff that's going on right now. And instead, you something shifts. You look in the mirror in the morning, and your posture changes, your energy changes, your prayers change. Your prayers change from God, please do something for me, to God is living through me. So let me go ahead and move accordingly. That is the shift. This is how you begin to shape reality instead of only reacting to it. That is how faith becomes embodied. That is how the mirror principles stop being just a concept and start becoming a way of life for you. So do not take the mirror principle lightly, especially when you are standing in front of a mirror, because every day life is asking you the same question. Are you only going to look at yourself, or are you finally going to see who you really are? And that's the lesson.